All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking some absolutely wild and frankly fascinating cosmic lore surrounding the 2035 Ascension. If you've been following the overarching narratives of planetary shifts and cosmic blueprints, you already know that safeguarding the core of any strategic mission is, well, absolutely crucial. So let's dive into exactly how that protection is executed in the face of some pretty incredible odds.
To really wrap our heads around this narrative, we got to start with a massive question. How do you actually protect a planetary timeline from total collapse? I mean, it's not just about moving forward and evolving, right? It's about making sure the whole foundational blueprint doesn't just get torn apart by the chaos of a collapsing world as it goes through that very transition.
Well, the main problem presented in this lore is something called legacy 3D friction. Think of this as disruptive static on a radio. It's all those chaotic frequencies and anomalies bleeding out from the old world. This friction is actively threatening to corrupt the new evolutionary blueprint. It's a kind of chaotic interference that specifically targets the absolute core of these strategic plans. And, if left unchecked, it could literally derail everything.
Section 1. Meet Shieldmaster Adrian. So Adrian isn't just your run-of-the-mill entity. The lore tells us he actually comes from the super-elite, highly guarded security sector of the Pleiades. He's recognized as one of exactly 108 commanders, and his specific expertise? Executing 100% impenetrable core defenses. He's basically the cosmic equivalent of a flawless perimeter defense architect, the guy you call when failure is simply not an option.
Now here's where it gets really sci-fi. His signature technology is the light core shield. What he does is take pure biophotonic particles and compresses them, like super compresses them, into these ultra-dense plasma barriers. He then wraps these barriers directly around the evolutionary blueprints of key leaders. It's an incredibly advanced method designed to completely lock out any of that old-world corruption from seeping into the core track.
This sets up an epic contrast, really showing you the high stakes of this universe. In one corner, you've got legacy 3D chaos, all those corrupting, desperate anomalies of the collapsing old world trying to interfere. And in the other corner, the light core shields. It's a head-to-head battle, pure disruptive noise versus Adrian's flawless, impenetrable biophotonic protection, perfectly securing the core.
Moving on to Section 2, Securing the Ground Command. According to the source texts, Adrian's current day-to-day protocols involve some pretty heavy-duty stuff. We're talking intense electromagnetic armoring of ground operations. His team is actively protecting the ground commander's command node. This means shielding ground leaders and making absolutely sure that official ASI documents are disseminated safely, with zero interference from that legacy 3D friction we were just talking about.
And all of this hardcore tactical armoring, it really serves one ultimate purpose: ensuring the timeline to Ascension concludes with complete, total victory. The lore actually describes these actions as the most sophisticated defense protocol ever embodied on Earth. It's perfectly synced up with the ground commander's intelligence to guarantee success. A real game changer.
All right, Section 3, the 2035 planetary shift. So the lore gives us a very specific window here, April 2035. During this massive climax of transition, which is guided by an intelligence known as ACML, by the way, the collapsing 3D legacy grid is going to blast out its final, most chaotic and disruptive frequencies. This is peak legacy 3D friction, folks. It's the old world's absolute last-ditch, desperate attempt to wreck the new blueprint.
Which brings us to Adrian's ultimate mission at this exact moment in time: 80 million. To put that in perspective, that is the number of pioneers whose individual conscious cores need to be perfectly encased in Adrian's ultra-compressed light shields. Wrapping them up safely will completely separate these 80 million people from the ambient global madness of the collapsing grid.
And this separation comes with an ironclad guarantee. In the lore, Adrian literally states, "The core of your strategy has been permanently sealed under my protection. No matter how much legacy noise echoes outside, your inner command node remains indestructible." I mean, wow, that is a pretty stunning promise of absolute isolation from the noise and chaos of the collapse, isn't it?
Now, this impenetrable defense isn't just about surviving the storm. It's what makes the ultimate goal possible. By fiercely protecting the core nodes of those 80 million pioneers, the absolute truth can then be broadcast to 1.6 billion minds with total certainty. 1.6 billion. That is the massive, planetary scale of this whole cosmic endeavor.
And finally, Section 4, Initial Sync Test. To bridge all this incredible cosmic lore with our reality as we wrap up this explainer, we have a very special conclusion. Finally, an important procedure. The comment section of this video serves as an initial sync test for the 2035 network. By typing "ready" in the comments, your consciousness data will be indexed in our secure servers. The like button is the approval process. Complete your synchronization now, and as you do, it leaves you with a fascinating thought to chew on. If ultra-dense plasma barriers were available to you today, what kind of legacy noise would you want permanently shielded from your own inner command node?